Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's all right. Welcome to the summer session of Math 155. We'll give it it's only 5:29. Give it 1 or 2 more minutes at the most, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So let's see who else comes in. All right, so it's 5:31. Looks like everybody's in. So once again, good evening. Hope everyone's doing great. Everybody's all right. I'm just gonna walk you through a few things. Once again, my name is Vince Tucker. I will be your instructor for this summer. And hopefully you've gotten all the emails that I sent out. If not, we're going to make sure that you've seen them today. And but I know you've seen some of them because you got this Zoom link. So if you go into Canvas, you should be able to see your shell. And there we go. And as far as all your announcements are concerned, the only thing that we will be using Canvas for is to archive all of the emails sent to the class. Any individual emails, of course, wouldn't be here, but class emails will be archived in your Canvas announcements. So even your syllabus will not be in here. It would actually be in Math Lab. So I want to point you to Math Lab for everything that you need. Due dates, assignments, tests, everything that you need will be in Math Lab. And really, you don't have to come here unless you cannot find any emails that are sent to you. But once again, every email I sent to the class will be here in your Canvas announcements. So the first email I sent to you guys was just greeting you guys and letting you guys know what type of class this is, online synchronous. So that means we have an actual time that we meet on Tuesday, Thursday at 5:30. And yeah, so I'll be here every Tuesday, Thursday at 5:30. That's the time that we will have our lectures. Now, as we get through talking today, you'll see how many different options you have as far as lecturing is concerned. But we'll get there in a second. And of course, that second email, which is giving you the Zoom link, that Zoom link will not change. It will be the same one for the whole session. So you don't have to go looking for or waiting for a different email link or different Zoom link. It will be that same one throughout the whole session. I will send you guys office hours. I haven't set that yet, but I will send that to you guys. Now those will be links, according to the day, but those will stay the same throughout the whole session as well. Just like you'll have one link for, let's say, Monday and Tuesday, or one link for Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever it is, you'll see it in the email. And if you have any questions, always feel free to ask. All right. So I mentioned it already. We're talking about Math Lab. That's the required materials that you need for this course. Not requiring that you purchase a hard copy of the book, but you do have to purchase access to Math Lab. Within Math Lab, you have e-text, so that's why we don't, make it a requirement that you purchase the book separately, but you can if you like. So if you follow these instructions, my 2, 3, and 4 got pushed aside. But anyway, if you follow these instructions, you should be able to register for the course. And you see here, you have 3 options once you actually get into the registration process. So You go to mymathlab.com, it'll take you here. And then student access to register. You move a little slow. No, you're not using your LMS. That's learning management system, but you're not using that. You're just signing up for Blackboard. I said, oh, did I hit yes? No mistake. Yeah, I meant to hit no. And ready direction. And so some of you pretty sure have already registered, but that's just taking to this part. You put in that course ID that I gave you, and then log in, put in your by putting in your information, create your account by putting in your information and stuff like that. So if you have any issues with anything, always feel free to let me know. From there, to give you three options. Either you will type in your access code. It should be a 16-digit access code. If you purchase access, from an outside source like TGC or Amazon, wherever you got the access from. If you purchase access through the site, it wouldn't give you access code. It would just give you access because you're already here. And then also it gives you opportunity for clicking on a 14-day free pass if you want to go ahead and get started. All right, so we got 3 people already in there, and we'll come back to that in a second. All right, so make sure you try to get registered as soon as possible so we can know if you have any issues or not. Questions on anything I've said so far? We just talked about the first 3 emails. Everybody good? Always for sure to type in the chat or unmute. Either one is fine. All right, so let's get to the next one. MathLab specifics. Basically, this is just an email just letting you know how we will be using MathLab. So first statement of contention, I guess you would say, or of importance is that MathLab does not work well with Safari. So if you have an Apple product and you like to use Safari as your internet browser, you will not be able to use Safari effectively with MathLab. For some reason, it does not interface well. So you need to use Chrome or Firefox. Chrome works best for me, but either one of those should work okay. All right, so you just download it, both are free. So you just download it and then use it accordingly. So let's look at everything else. You cannot pass the class without access to MathLab because all of your assignments, tests, everything that we do is going to be generated through MathLab. So you won't turn in anything by paper or anything like that. So everything's done through MathLab. Even your final exam will be done through MathLab. So you have to have access to MathLab. Your participation will be solidified through MathLab as well. So look at this. You must participate or show activity weekly. You don't have to get in there every single day. I'm not asking you to do that, but at least get in there at least once a week. I mean, it should be more than that, but let's say if you had a crazy week, all I'm asking is so that I have a time stamp with your activity to show that you're still around. At least get in there once a week. Even if you go in there, hit save on a homework and come on out. At least that lets me know, as far as attendance is concerned, you're still okay, you're still there. And when I have to do drops or whatever the case may be, I wouldn't be looking towards, your direction. All right. If you have any issues with anything, make sure you communicate that with me. Whether it be personal issues or even technical issues with MathLab. Let's say MathLab is doing, let's say MathLab went down. Well, I wouldn't know necessarily. I'm not going to necessarily know unless you guys tell me. And so then I can, adjust things accordingly if I have to. Right? So any type of issues, let me know. Personal issues, of course. You don't have to give me deep, intimate details, but let me know something going on so I can, see if there's anything I can do to help you out, or if nothing else, I'm just aware that you're a little behind because you got stuff going on. Once again, I don't have to know details, but it lets me know that that you're still trying to make it happen. You have to understand that every semester, every year, I have people that just fall off the face of the earth. They sign up for courses, then they just stop. They stop working. They don't tell me anything. They don't tell me, they don't, send up a flare. Nothing happens. And so I don't have a choice but to give them an F when it's all boiled down to it. But things can be prevented if you just keep lines of communication open. All right. So when it comes to homework, you have unlimited amount of tries to get the best grade possible. With that unlimited amount of tries, this is how I will be scoring your homework. So 75 to 84.9, I will give you a 90% in the book, which is still an A. But if you want a full 100%, you want to at least score 85. All right, so that's how I will look at your homework. Now, Math Lab doesn't reflect that. This is something that I will do when I do my final grading. So, if you're going to calculate it on your own, that would just be something that you have to consider when you're looking at your homework. Notice I didn't mention anything less than a 75 because you have unlimited amount of tries to get the best grade possible. And when you get it wrong, they give you the answers. So it's like, really, if you wanted to get 100, you really could play the game and click on stuff until you get a problem that you just had and all stuff like that. So, but of course, it's not the best practice because that's not going to prepare you for the test that you have to take. But I'm just saying you can get a 75 if you want to get a 75, right? So test reviews, they're not mandatory, but if you score 85 or better, then I can add 5 points to that respective test. So they're extra credit. Once again, I won't hold it against you if you do not do them. But what I always would suggest is that you at least go in there and take a look at the test review and see what type of problems you will be held responsible for on your actual test. So that's what the test reviews are for, to help prepare you for the actual test. Okay. Okay, never mind. All right. So the test reviews. That next sentence or the next to last sentence, you will have 2 attempts to get the best grade possible on your test. So what's going to happen is you got 2 major categories of assignments that I'll hold you accountable for. You have homework and you have tests. Your homework, you have unlimited amount of tries to get the best grade possible. Your test, you have 2 shots. Okay. And if something happens, something crazy, you just email me. I can give you another opportunity. If a cat walk across your keyboard or something like that, hit submit. All you have to do is talk to me. That's not a problem. But normally you already afforded 2 opportunities to get the best grade possible. And then and I always put this as a general statement for your class though, I don't think there's much scratch work that you will have to submit. But that's always a general statement I give to all my classes. Like my 161 pre-calculus, of course, there is going to be scratch work because that's all math. But this class is more so they tell you to use technology, and you'll see in the lectures I even point you in the direction of technology. And then it's a lot of not a lot, but it's more application than it is calculation. So any questions on anything so far? Anybody? All right. Last email. And these are these are my previously recorded lectures. They're the lectures from a previous class that I had. Goes through all of the sections. It's the same content that you will get, if you sit in live with me. So if you decided, people handle this class 1 or 2 ways. So people just come and join me every Tuesday, Thursday at 5:30. I'll be here. But then some people opt out and they just go through the videos themselves. It doesn't matter to me which way you do it. And this is why, to keep things straight across the board, I take attendance off of Math Lab because everybody has to do Math Lab. Everybody has to go into Math Lab and do your assignments. You can't pass the class without doing Math Lab work. So that's why I take attendance off of Math Lab, not necessarily coming to class, because I'm giving you this option right here. So this means that if you miss a class, you don't have to ask me about anything. The videos right here is going to be the same guy, same. Matter of fact, I'll show you this as well. And I got to clear up some stuff because my computer moving a little slow. It'll be straight by the next time we have class though. So all right, so this is my notepad and what I'll be writing on. And so I'll just be writing, talking live. So whatever you see, you'll be able to see it as I write, as I talk. It's all live. You'll be able to ask questions. So it's the same classroom experience that you would get if it was in person. It's just that, you sitting at home, I'm sitting at home. And you'll be able to, interject, ask questions. If I go too fast, ask me slow, whatever the case may be. But with that being said, the same notes, the same lecture, the same guy is the one that did these videos as well. So you're not missing anything. It's just that, of course, it's not live. You wouldn't be able to ask me any questions right then. But, some people have went through the videos and just been fine with that. So it does not matter to me what you want to do and how you want to handle the class as long as you're getting your math lab work completed, I'm fine. So if Tuesday, Thursday become hectic for you, you just want to sit and look at the videos, I'm fine with that as well. Just pay attention to your emails, because anything I communicate, updates or anything that I communicate to the class live, I will email that out as well. So for example, I really the next time that I really need to see you, that I have to see you, is your final exam, because that's the thing that you're going to be proctoring. I'm not going to do a midterm because it's summer, got a short period of time that we'll be together, 10 weeks instead of 16. So I'm gonna let you focus on your work. So everything that you have access to, I'm gonna show you in the second week, that everything that you have access to in Math Lab, you can do on your own, except for the final exam, which you don't have access to at this moment. And that will be during the last week of class. All right. So questions on anything I've said up to this point before we actually go to Math Lab? Good, that's straight. Oh, somebody in the chat. Nope, send note. All right, cool. All right, so let's go to Math Lab. I believe that was my last one. All right, just continue. Okay, so go to Math Lab and let's go into shell. All right, so your syllabus, remember I mentioned that your syllabus is not going to be in Canvas, it's going to be in Math Lab. So everything that we do is going to be in Math Lab. So you really don't need Canvas for anything, because even though those, and this is for those who may have came after I said the statement, even those announcements that I put in Canvas, I emailed them to you as well. So really you don't need Canvas for anything for this class. But your emails are always archived in Canvas, in your Canvas announcements. So this is your syllabus. I do need to update it. This is one from last semester. All the content is still the same. I just need to update my information. Like the course ID is different. We meet 5:30, not 9:30, that type of thing. All right. Your assignments. And these are all your assignments. Once again, you have access to everything. Notice how it's set up. Let me go back up top. You got chapter 1's content, chapter 2's content, test review, and then your test. And that's how all of everything that you have is set up. You have chapter 2, test review, and then that test that's on those sections. Remember, test reviews are not mandatory, but they're set up like homework, so you can do their unlimited amount of tries to make sure you get the practice in that you want to get in. I see 3, 4, and then the test review test. Same thing, 5, 6, and then 7, 8. So you have 4 tests. And then you see your final exam review. Notice there's no final exam yet, because once again, you don't need that at this moment. It will be made available when we get closer to taking your final exam. These sections right here, we're probably not going to have time to get to those. So our cutoff is 8.2. If you want to do these sections for extra credit, you can. I just don't feel like we're gonna have enough time, to get there and then have everybody have a good chance to process all the information that's been given to them. So once again, you can do those for extra credit if you want. If not, just ignore them. And this is where you'll stop. Move it as far ahead as you like. You ask me questions on anything that you want. By next week you're in chapter 8. You want to ask me a question about chapter 8? Feel free to ask. It's up to you. No guarantee that I'm gonna have time to set up a final exam early or something like that. No guarantee on that, but we can talk about it. But yeah, the main thing is that you do have the freedom and the flexibility to get your work done, as long as and so I didn't mention this. Notice the due date is 7/31. That's your last date. That's in SIS. So I gave you as much time as I could, and from there I get grazing the next day. So you have till July 31st to get everything in. Of course, you don't want to wait until July 29th to start working on your assignments, but you do have the flexibility for life to happen, and you don't have to ask me for an extension. You just have to get caught up. And once again, July 31st is when everything needs to be done. All right. Questions so far? Everybody good? All right. All right. So when it comes to your lectures, chapters 1 and chapters 2, I do not do a full lecture on those because the main thing that they are definitions. And so your first assignment, which will have a date on it, that's not July 31st, and that will be the only thing that you have a date on. That's not July 31st, will be your two definitions here, two chapter definitions. So if you look at this one, and this is one of the things that will matter when you talk about Safari versus Chrome. If you go into Safari, go into Safari, you're only going to see one page. You're going to see the first page, and that's going to be it. But there's a couple pages in chapter 1 that you have to take care of, and all of them are definitions. I'm going to show you how easy it is for this assignment. And then chapter 2's definitions are right here. And so this is going to eliminate the boringness of chapters 1 and 2, which basically we talk about definitions. I write it down and you copy. I'm falling asleep, you fall asleep type of thing, where you can just do the definitions on your own, get familiar with them on your own terms, on your own time. And then from there, you can do your assignments, which are based on the definitions, and that test, which of course is based on the definitions as well. Now, I will talk about a few things in chapter 2 on next class, but it's not that much because the main thing is definitions. They have definitions and graphs that are in chapter 2 as well. So if you have any problems with any graphs, always feel free to bring it to my attention. And so to find these definitions, now statistics has its own language. You cannot, or at least I do not encourage you to go to Google, Alexa, or whoever, and just ask these definitions randomly because they may not match up with statistics. So if you go to a statistics book, you will get the same answers, but not just randomly asking or randomly Googling. You may or may not get the right answer. So we have our e-text, which is right here. And I think it's easy to go to chapter content, but you see both of these options take you to the book. And hit chapter 1. And section 1, and I'll go e-text. And while that's loading, I'll go back here. And of course, you can print these definitions out. Then you print them out right there, download it right here, whatever way you like to do it. And so notice what the first question is. What are the two definitions of statistics? What's a population? What are population parameters, sample, and raw data? So if you go to chapter 1, and you see the first thing is two definitions of statistics. So I didn't make this assignment to be hard. It's just to familiarize you guys with the terms that you're going to be using throughout the whole semester. And this builds your foundation for moving forward. And so you see population parameters. And the next page. And so that was even in blue. So if you go to these blue boxes, most of them, you're going to see all the stuff that you're looking for. Same thing here, sample, raw data, sample statistics. And so sample, raw data, sample statistics. So it wasn't made to be hard. It wasn't made to be a scavenger hunt. Everything is in order. So if you get to census and you didn't see the purpose of statistics or 5 basic steps, there's somewhere you missed something. You just need to go back and see what page you missed or whatever the case may be. So once again, this should be an easy assignment. It was not made to be difficult, but just to familiarize you all with the terms. And once you do it, then you can submit it to me through email. You can either type them up. You can write them on your notebook and take a picture, send them to me with your phone, scan it, whichever way you want to do it. It does not matter to me as long as you go ahead and email them to me, and then I will have to manually put your grade into MathLab. This is the only assignment that's like this. Everything else will be done through MathLab completely, in which you do your assignment, hit submit, and get your answer, get your grade immediately. But this is the one that you'll have to email to me, and then like I said, I'll manually put in your grade. All right, so let's look at the date. Today's 21st. So let's look at these definitions being due June 2nd. And that is a Sunday. But yeah, so Sunday, June 2nd, 11:59 p.m. So give you a couple days to get that in there. So we got 7, so about 10 days. Oh, I said 10 days. Well, where did I get 10 from? So 7, that's 10 right there. 11, 12, about 12 days, right? 12. I get 10 from. So about 12 days to knock that out. So should be an easy grade if you do all the definitions and do everything, accordingly. Then of course, you get 100%. So it should be a, easy A. And yeah, so questions on that. Everybody good so far? Questions, concerns, comments? All right. So last thing I wanted to do was go into your assignments and give you an idea of how this thing works. Trying to find a good one that's not multi. All right, that wasn't a good section. That's the that I was looking for. Oh, that's a word and T. Oh, that's not it. I'm not worried about it. Just use this one. All right, so couldn't find what I was looking for, trying to find a good one. So anyway, let's say if we just pick this assignment just randomly. So I'm just putting anything here. So notice it says check your answer. If you get it right, of course, they will mark it right. But if not, then they will try to give you a hint. Then try to give you a hint. So notice they gave you 3 tries to get the answer correct. Notice now it says final check. So it depends on the complexity of the problem. Normally it's 3, but let's say if it's a true or false question, of course, they'll just give you 1 shot because if you get it wrong, then it's just automatically the other one, right? But once again, once you get it wrong, you can hit similar question right here, which will reset it and it'll give you the same problem with different numbers. Or you can just go to the next question. Let's say you're just done with it for right there. But you will always have a red X right there until you get it right. If you get it right, it will be a green check. If you get some of them right, some of them wrong, it'll be a green check / red X. Also, when you go here, then it also, when you go to your problem list, it will have that same marking, whether you got it right or wrong. If it's wrong, it'll be a red X, right would be green check, and so on. All right. So now, if you want to help, most of the time people, well, let me do a similar question. If you don't do it at that moment, you can always come back right here, it'll be right here in the right corner. And those are same problem, just different numbers. Now, you have your help tools down here. Help me solve this. Most people do not click on that because that will help you solve the problem. And then it will automatically mark it wrong because, of course, they gave you the answer. Then you just had to hit similar question to reset it and then try it again. Most people like to do view an example. View an example takes you through a problem, walks you through a problem that's very similar, and just take you step by step until you get to the answer to the end. I need to do that part. Let's see. Okay, there you go. And then also some people like to print it. So you can print that if you like. All right. Get more help. Depends on the complexity of the problem. That will dictate how many options you have here. Textbook means you just click on that and it will take you to the place in the textbook that this problem is discussed. StatCrunch is MyMathLab's version of Excel. Tech help is just, if you have technical issues with your computer, then that will go to Pearson's tech team. As my instructor sends me an email letting me know that you have an issue with the problem right here. Now, keep in mind, sometimes every now and then stuff may not interface or communicate the way that it should. So if you send me an email, especially through Pearson, and for some reason you don't get a response, just give me a little grace. Just, understand I don't tell you to email me so I can not respond to you. And it's a possibility that I never got it. So you can always, email me again directly and just let me know you had a problem with this problem, or, bring it up in class, whatever the case may be. All right. Now, also another option that may be here, depending on the complexity of the equation or the problem, is they could have another video by a Pearson instructor, and that video will be here talking about the problem. So, questions on anything? Questions, concerns, comments? Right good, right straight. So once again, just do a recap to make sure we're okay with everything that's going on and how we're going to operate moving forward. You have one due date, one hard due date at the end of the semester. I'm not doing a midterm type of testing because it's just summer. So the only thing that will be proctored, in other words, I need to watch you sit here in Zoom and you have your camera on. I'll give you all instructions on as to how we will do the final exam. But the only time I need to proctor you will be during your final exam. That's at the end of the semester, and that will be on chapters 1 through 8. Going up to 8.2. All right. There is, like I said, there's a final exam review, so you'll be able to practice, make sure you know what's on the final exam as well. All right. So the flexibility of the course is on you. Pacing is on you, as long as you get everything done by July 31st. Now, your final exam will be the week of July 31st. And so I'm going to give you a couple of options. The way I normally do final exams is that I'll give you 3 or 4 options to choose from. So I'll give you between, and I'll probably start on that Friday, which is the 26th. So that'll give you the 26th, with Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to actually, take the final exam. And so I have different times and days, different times on those days. So, and I'll talk to you about it and give you enough time to prepare. Just know that final week of school is the week we're going to take our final exam, and it'll be up to you which time and date you choose. All right. Let me see. Let's go back here. I'll get out my way. All right, there we go. All right. So going back to also the announcements, how you handle class from this point forward will be up to you. I will, record it. I mean, it is recorded, but I will convert to a YouTube link this video of today and send it out for anybody who may have missed or may want to review what I've said today. But here are all of the lectures that I will be going through for the whole 10 weeks. So it's up to you how you want to handle class. If you decide that these videos are good enough, then that's fine. I'm taking attendance by math lab. So don't forget, your activity in math lab is what is important. You can come to class every day. And if you don't do your math lab work, you still fail. So that's why I said, well, let's make what the main thing, which is your activity in math lab. That's what's most important. That's how I will be able to grade your performance. And so once again, all of these lectures are me with the same content, and that's what we will be going through throughout the semester, throughout the summer session. All right. So that's all I have for today. Did anybody have any questions before we close out? Make sure we're good. Good. Oh, as a matter of fact, and I see somebody said something in chat. As a matter of fact, 2-1, I forgot. They switched the book on me. So we will be talking about a few things in chapter 2. I forgot for this class. We will be talking about a few things in chapter 2. But the lectures are right here. You see 2-1, 2-2. 2, 3. So we'll be talking about a few things in chapter 2 on next class. But in chapter 1, I don't. It's just all definitions. But yeah, I forgot to switch the book on me. And so that's why we got to cover a few things in chapter 2. But yeah, but that'll be next class. All right. So if you guys don't have any questions, that's great. I'm glad I was able to explain it to you. But if anything comes up, feel free to email me. I think some of you have emailed me, and I'll respond to your questions accordingly. But feel free to email me at any point in time, and I will definitely get back with you. Next class, I'll get into chapter 2. But if you take a look at the videos, hey, you're good. I'm good. I just want to make sure that you guys have whatever it is that you need in order to complete the class. All right. So if you guys are great, I'm great. Have a great day. Be safe. Don't forget your due date is June 2nd for those definitions. If you have any issues with that due date, something happened, somebody deleted all your work, kid ran and deleted all your work, just email me. All we got to do is have a conversation. It's all good. It's not that serious. We'll adjust. Okay. But don't wait until July 31st to tell me you have issues. That's when we have a problem. But we got from now to July 31st to make some stuff happen. So I hope my hopes that everybody passed with no problems. All right. All right. You guys have a good one. Be safe, and I will see you next class.